Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the world of Isekai anime, exploring the top 5 best Isekai anime of all time. You know, those anime where the protagonist gets transported to another world. It's like pressing the reset button on life, but with more magic, swords and waifus or husbandos depending on your taste. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Sword Art Online. It's the anime that launched 1,000 Isekai ships. And by ships, I mean arguments about which girl Kirito should end up with. But I'm getting ahead of myself. For the uninitiated, Sword Art Online is about this dude, Kirito, who gets trapped inside a VRMORPG called Sword Art Online. Yeah, you heard that right, trapped. As in, if you die in the game, you die in real life. Talk about high-stakes gaming, am I right? So, Kirito, being the hardcore gamer that he is, has to fight his way through all 100 floors of Reincarnated, this massive floating castle, to escape the game. Along the way, he meets a bunch of other players, including the lightning-fast Asuna, who he totally has a thing for. I mean, who wouldn't? She's like the perfect anime girl. Strong, independent, and can slice and dice her way through enemies like it's nobody's business. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows in Sword Art Online. I mean, they are literally fighting for their lives here. There's betrayal, heartbreak, and enough emotional baggage to fill a jumbo jet. But hey, that's what makes it a good isekai, right? The emotional roller coaster, the epic battles, the will they won't they romance, it's got it all. And the world building? Don't even get me started on the world building. Reincarnated is like this sprawling, fantastical world with different environments on each floor. From lush forests to scorching deserts, it's like they took every fantasy trope and crammed it into one giant, death-defying game. Sword Art Online is definitely an isekai gateway drug. It's got all the elements that make the genre so popular. A relatable protagonist, a compelling story, and a world that you just want to get lost in. Even with its flaws, and trust me, there are a few, it's still a fun and exciting ride that will leave you wanting more. Plus, you gotta admit, the fight scenes are pretty epic. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a good sword fight? Especially when it's animated in all its glory. It's like watching poetry in motion. But what really makes Sword Art Online stand out is its exploration of the human condition. You see these characters trapped in this virtual world, facing their own mortality, and it makes you think about your own life. It's like a giant metaphor for the challenges we face in our own lives. So yeah, Sword Art Online is more than just a mindless action anime. It's a story about love, loss, and the power of human connection. It's a story that will stay with you long after the credits roll, and that's why it deserves a spot on this list. Alright, buckle up, Buttercup, because ReZero, starting life in another world, is not your typical isekai adventure. Oh no, this one's dark, like really dark. Imagine getting transported to another world, but every time you die, you get sent back to a certain Natsuki, your average shut-in who gets summoned to a fantasy world. He's thinking, sweet, time to be the hero. But life has other plans, a lot, and each time he dies, he rewinds time, some overpowered hero. He's flawed, he's desperate, and he's just trying to survive. And that makes his journey all the more impactful. And the world of ReZero? Let's just say it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's a world full of magic, mystery, and some seriously messed up individuals. You got witches with godlike powers, half-elf maids with hidden talents, and a talking cat that's more sarcastic than your average internet troll. But beneath the darkness, there's a glimmer of hope. Subaru's determination to protect those he cares about is inspiring. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's always a reason to keep fighting. ReZero is not for the faint of heart. It's a brutal, unflinching look at the human psyche under extreme duress. But it's also a story about resilience, hope, and the power of never giving up. It's an isekai that will stay with you long after you've finished watching it, leaving you questioning your own sanity and craving more. Alright, let's talk about No Game No Life, the anime that's basically a love letter to gamers and anyone who's ever wished they could live in a world ruled by games. Imagine a world where every conflict, from petty squabbles to international disputes, is settled not through war or diplomacy, but through games. Sounds like heaven for someone who can't even lose a game of rock, paper, scissors, right? Enter Sora and Shiro, step-siblings, and the undefeated gaming duo known as Blank. They're NEETs, shut-ins who've conquered every game imaginable in the real world. But their real adventure begins when they're challenged to a game of chess by a god from another world. And guess what? They win. Transported to Discord, a world where everything is decided by games, Sora and Shiro are in their element. It's like they were born to conquer this world, outsmarting their opponents with their genius-level intellect and unwavering teamwork. No game. No Life is a visual treat. The animation is vibrant and colorful, perfectly capturing the fantastical nature of Discord. And the games? Oh boy, the games are the real stars of the show. From chess to card games to virtual reality battles, each game is a thrilling battle of wits and strategy. But it's not all fun and games in Discord. Beneath the surface of this seemingly utopian world lies a darker truth. There are rules to be followed, consequences for cheating, and some seriously high stakes involved. Sora and Shiro may be gaming prodigies, but they're also flawed individuals. Sora is arrogant and overconfident, while Shiro is socially awkward and emotionally detached. But together, they complement each other perfectly, their strengths masking their weaknesses. No game. No Life is a celebration of intelligence, strategy, and the power of believing in yourself. It's an isekai that makes you challenge your friends. Just be prepared to Who needs to be reborn as a hero when you can be a slime? That time I got reincarnated as a slime takes the whole reincarnation thing to a whole new level of adorable. Imagine dying a boring death and waking up as a sentient blob of goo in a fantasy world. Sounds weird, right? Well, it is, but in the best way possible. Meet Satoru Mikata, an average salaryman who gets stabbed to death and reincarnated as, you guessed it, a slime. But this is no ordinary slime. He's got special abilities, like absorbing skills and transforming into other creatures. Talk about a glow-up, right? That time I got reincarnated as a slime is basically a feel-good isekai adventure. It's all about building a community, making friends, and becoming the most powerful slime the world has ever seen. As Rimuru Tempest, his new slime name, he befriends a tribe of goblins, evolves into a more powerful slime form, and starts building his own nation of monsters. It's like watching an episode of Little House on the Prairie, but with more magic and less butter churning. But don't let the cute exterior fool you. That time I got reincarnated as a slime also has its fair share of action and adventure. Rimuru faces off against rival monsters, navigates political intrigue, and even takes on a demon lord or two. What makes this isekai so enjoyable is its heart. Rimuru is a kind and compassionate leader who genuinely cares about his friends and followers. He's not out to conquer the world, he just wants to create a place where everyone can live together in peace and harmony. That time I got reincarnated as a slime is the perfect anime to relax and unwind with. It's a lighthearted and heartwarming adventure that will leave you with a smile on your face. And who knows, you might even start rooting for the slime. Overlord is the isekai that answers the question, what happens when the final boss gets trapped in the game? And I'm not talking about any boss, I'm talking about Momonga, the overlord of the Great Tomb of Nazarick, a guild so powerful they make other players tremble in their virtual boots. The twist? Momonga is actually a dude named Suzuki Satoru who's stuck inside his avatar, a skeletal sorcerer with enough magical power to make Merlin look like an amateur. And he's not alone. He's got his loyal NPCs who are more like family than artificial intelligence, all with their own quirks and terrifying abilities. Overlord is basically a power fantasy on steroids. Imagine being transported to a world where magic is real and you're at the top of the food chain. That's Momonga's life now. He's got an undead army, a fortress full of traps, and a reputation that precedes him. But here's the thing, Momonga is not a bad guy. Well, not entirely. He's just trying to figure out what's going on and how to protect his loyal followers. And let's be real, who wouldn't want to see an all-powerful skeleton overlord rule with an iron fist? Or should I say, bone hand? Overlord is a unique blend of action, adventure, and dark comedy. It's got epic battles, political intrigue, and enough world building to make Tolkien proud. Plus, it's got Ain's Ulgaun, Momonga's new name, who's basically the coolest, most badass skeleton you'll ever meet. So if you're looking for an isekai that's a little different, with a healthy dose of dark humor and an overpowered protagonist, then Overlord is the anime for you. Just don't get on Ain's bad side, because you won't like him when he's angry. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more anime content. Let us know in the comments which isekai anime is your favorite. And hey, if you're feeling adventurous, why not check out one of the anime we talked about today? You might just discover your new favorite isekai world. Until next time, stay weeby.